Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thanks to both of you for your service and for being here today. This is an important topic. There's no question. You probably know I'm the co-chair of the House Depot Arsenal Ammunition Plant and Industrial Facilities Caucus, along with Walter Jones, my good friend from North Carolina. And we've had a lot of meetings, multiple meetings, to discuss some of these specific issues over the course of this particular Congress, as well as our overall concern about the health of the organic base going forward. I'm very proud to represent the Rock Island Arsenal, too. I think you're very aware that we have the Joint Manufacturing Technology Center there, and also we have the Army Sustainment Command and other aspects of logistics located there at the Rock Island Arsenal. I've been a firm believer all along in the importance of the industrial base, especially maintaining the base, and organic industrial base, as much as we can in the event of another contingency. And I know that we're talking about a lot of reductions in force and other things going forward, but we've obviously got to keep our eye on the ball. We have to be prepared in the event that we do have another contingency, and I know you two agree with that. All of us on this panel do. We just have to make sure that our warfighter has what he or she needs in the event that we have another contingency. But I don't think anybody's asked you yet today. I mean, we're now in the middle of a second day of a shutdown, and it may be too early for you folks to give us any kind of an assessment of what the shutdown means for the issues that we're talking about today. But do your best if you can give us some indication of what this shutdown means right now in real time for what you folks are doing.
Yes, sir. First off, I would say, as you recall, when the Joint Chiefs of Staff were up here several weeks ago, they described where we were at that time with 13 going into 14, 15, and it was pretty gloomy. And they talked about the readiness of our force and our ability to meet another contingency in and around the world that was at serious risk. So I would say that's where we started 14 at, and of course, coming right into 14, we have a government shutdown. So certainly readiness isn't getting better. In fact, I would say it's eroding, and the longer this goes, the more it will erode. We are focused on the forces that are in combat today, so we're taking risk, just as my brother General Faulkner said, in other places to make sure that our forces that are in harm's way this very evening have got what they need, and we'll continue to do that, as well as Korea. That's the other place that we focus on. So those two are where we're putting our resources and taking risks generally everywhere else. If you would bear with me for one moment, I think I would just tell you a story about it occurred yesterday. So at 1100 hours yesterday, I brought my civilian workforce in and I looked them in the eye, all 236 of them. And I told them I didn't have good news. I had to send them all home without pay. And worse than that, I didn't know when I'd be able to bring them back. And I can imagine the scene as they went home and told their husband and wife and their children that they were basically furloughed, laid off, and didn't know when they would go back to work again. And would they be able to make rent and mortgage and buy groceries and pay for the college fund? And hear their children saying, but Dad didn't, or Mom, didn't just last month the same thing happen to you? I didn't think it was going to happen now. You told me we were going to be okay. So this compounding of the furlough from last year and now this issue. So when I send soldiers into combat, that's a difficult thing to do. But at least I know when I send a soldier into combat, I'm giving them the fuel and the ammunition and the weapons they need. I feel like I've abandoned my workforce. And that's not a good place to be. And so in my career, I've really never faced something like this. So this is very difficult. And even though it's only day 2, that's where I'm coming emotionally. One other data point for you on an impact. We had to close all of our commissaries in the continental United States. Soldiers and their families get about a 30% savings from the commissaries. They will not get that savings now until the commissary is back open. So that's a 30% out of their pay this month when they go buy food and necessities for their family.
Something people don't even think about. Oh,
that's right.
I appreciate that, General.
We were able to keep the commissaries overseas going because they just don't have a lot of options, and so we had to take risks back here in the continental United States. They have other options, but that's for our soldiers and their families, it's very difficult.
General Faulkner, I'll be talking to my Marine children soon enough about this, but I'd like to hear what you have to say about this.
Yes, sir. Words like disruptive and unfortunate don't even begin to address the impact of this shutdown on our Marine civilians. And I think more descriptive words such as disrespectful are more appropriate. And so the same thing that General Mason talked about. These are loyal patriots The only difference is they don't wear the cloth. But many of them have been in serving the Marine Corps longer than I have. And so to treat them like this, send them home, sends a pretty just a poor signal in terms of how much we value what they've given to our country. And so that's really disconcerting. I did the same thing that General Mason did, and I'll tell you that I had some senior executive service members that have enough time to retire, and they may just do that. And so my concern is, especially as this thing becomes even more protracted, we're going to lose that expertise. And for the Marine Corps, we're pretty frugal service. We don't have the depth to plug a senior Marine and a general officer to fill that. So we will fill that. We won't see it immediately in readiness, but we'll see it over the course of time.
All the more reason why we had demo better figure out what we're going to do about this shutdown here on Capitol Hill. Thank you very much. Thanks to both of you, and thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Loebsack. We'll now go to Mr. Enyart.